Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome to another episode of Weekly Code Quickies, your weekly updates for tech news, coding tricks and tips and more. As always, I'm your host Norbert BM, and in today's episodes we are going to have the following topics. What is the problem with the Metaverse? Mark Zuckerberg and Gary Veynerchuck had an interview. I actually have 5 important things that I want to talk about. Then we're going to take a look at a Metaverse ETF. Don't know what an ETF is, then please stick around, and also what this ETF does. And the last topic will be hydrogen. Hydrogen is a new framework. It is released by Shopify. It is released by Shopify and it is a React-based framework. And we're going to take a look at that also. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into the episode. So as I said, Gary Veynerchuck, the interrupter himself, had an interview with Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, formerly known as Facebook. Basically, they talked about the Metaverse and also Web 3.0, which I'm extremely interested about. And after Gary Veynerchuck interrupted Mark Zuckerberg like 1,000 times, also I do believe that in the dictionary there should be a photo with Gary Veynerchuck and to the left side the word interrupted. It should really be his face with something like that. Okay, so Gary Vaynerchuk had an interview with Mark Zuckerberg, as I said, and I would like to talk about the highlights that I believe that are the highlights of this interview. Also, if you didn't know already, Gary Vaynerchuk is involved massively in NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which also makes a lot of sense for this interview, because we'll see how NFTs and Mark Zuckerberg's version of the Metaverse are, well, tightly connected. So the very first question that I believe was extremely important there, where Gary Vaynerchuk asked, and I'm going to paraphrase here. Gary Vaynerchuk Gary asked Zuckerberg, where does he feel like that the Metaverse is going to and how it is similar to the earlier days of Facebook. Then Zuckerberg replied that he feels that Metaverse is the next frontier in social connections. We are a technology-first company that builds technology to advance human connection, building platforms and experiences that deliver the sense of presence, like you are right there with another person. Now, I'm still waiting on smell-o-vision, but I might add that they're literally not enhancing our connection. The current versions of whatever social media is not enhancing our connection. We are more disconnected from for human interactions, because human interactions do need two humans. Poof. One beside another, looking in each other's eyes and actually touching each other. If you write that someone is a moron, you should say it to his face and then not just tweet it on Twitter. Okay? So I do believe that Zuckerberg is talking here BS, major BS. What he meant to say is that he's trying to connect companies much easier to users or potential buyers. That's what he actually is trying to do. Just my opinion on it. Okay, the second question was, why did he acquire Oculus so early on, almost 7 years ago? So if you don't know, Mark Zuckerberg acquired Oculus way back, and actually I don't know what he actually built. Excepting Facebook, allegedly, that he built, they acquired Instagram, they acquired Snapchat, they acquired WhatsApp, they acquired Oculus. How are they a technology-first company? I just can't understand it. It's not understandable for me. Okay, so as I said, the second question was, why did he acquire Oculus that early on? Gary Vaynerchuk asked Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg replied, he felt that although you can take your phone anywhere, he couldn't deliver the necessary immersive experience which he would like to deliver. Okay, so this makes a lot of sense why he acquired Oculus. Everything going in the direction of Metaverse. This just means that he was already thinking about the Metaverse in the early days. Now, Zuckerberg also knows that he lost the race for the smartphone, but he does know that the smartphones out there are the gatekeepers. And if the gatekeepers shut their gates, then he and his entire social network will collapse, because no one is actually using a PC, or I think less than 10% of the users are using a PC. Basically, people are only using PCs to edit videos and then upload them to Instagram, Facebook, and so on and so on. So yeah, Mark Zuckerberg is in a big dilemma here, because the gatekeepers, we also saw the fight between him and Apple, and yeah, this could go in a different direction. The next interesting question, I believe, was, are contact lenses the future of augmented reality? Zuckerberg replied that, and I quote, "There are people working on this." He didn't say that his people is working on this, or his people are working on it. But the problem is connection or connectivity and energy. You have to power that somehow. And then Gary replied that, I thought that was so funny if he could swallow a 5G pill. Jesus. Gary, please control yourself. I know you want to sell things, but please, dude. Dan Zuckerberg added that in the near future, you will see normal-looking glasses that can project holograms in the real world. Okay, so this is extremely interesting because Meta already had a collaboration with Ray-Ban, if you didn't see that, and they tried to do, wait just a second, they tried to do Ray-Ban, you know, the glasses company. Actually, Ray-Ban is already owned by someone else, but the brand Ray-Ban, it exists, and they tried to do Ray-Ban stories, exactly. Ray-Ban stories. Now, can I still find it? Ray-Ban, wait just a second. Oculus, this Oculus, let's see if I can find Ray-Ban. Because on Ray-Ban's official website, there we go. Introducing Ray-Ban stories, first generation smart glasses, and just going to turn the woo. So, listen, this is really okay. They have 2 cameras in there. You can take videos. There's Sock explaining that, ooh, I'm so cool. Yeah, so you can take videos. You can listen to music with it. And $300, Jesus. Here's the thing. Ooh, exciting things. You tap on it, you record with it, you make stories. It's lit. Wow. Yeah, whatever. So they tried it. If you go to Ray-Ban's official site, you will not get them. You cannot find them. Also, I do believe that Facebook is just trying to do a what Apple did. They're trying to grab onto the fashion industry, just like Beats by Dre did, and to leech themselves actually to the fashion industry, making their glasses fashionable and thus more adaptable by us, the young folks, or even younger than me. I'm 35. Yay. I still consider myself young. Okay, so as I said, I couldn't find them on Ray-Ban's site themselves, but who knows? Maybe it is a good investment. Okay, so the fourth question by Gary Vee was, will Metaverse core focus be the attention grab? I think that's so cool. Zuckerberg actually then replied, absolutely. We have to wave all these new technologies through this social app because you want to be able to jump into the metaverse and a 3D experience from your Instagram feed. Now, I can see this actually happening when you get a notification that your friend is somewhere at a concert, for example. Actually, they did show this, and you don't want to miss out. What's the thing that called FOMO? Fear of missing out. FOMO will be then in there, and you will just tap on it and put on your Oculus glasses or whatever they will be called in the future, and you can just jump in the action. That will be interesting. He also said that a lot of the discovery will be through this social media platform. So as I said, you're going to get notified that friends and film stars, can you imagine being there in the movie itself? So cool. With your favorite star, with being in the MMA fight yourself. Wow. As a hologram. Ha, that would be cool. Damn it, he's getting to me. Okay, so after that question, Mark Zuckerberg actually got into a big pain point of his, and that was that he missed out on the smartphone industry because the smartphone are the gatekeepers, as I said. And here's where Mark Zuckerberg said something really interesting. I actually wrote it down. He also said that he would love to build a bunch of apps. So here's where it's interesting. So he would love to build a bunch of apps. He would love to build a bunch of apps, but he cannot because he's constrained into this rectangle and its policies. So can you imagine that when the metaverse will exist, the policies that are made are Facebook's policies. And if you're in their technology and in their application, they control everything. They basically then control everything. So I find this particularly worrying because ultimate power should not be given to anyone. Okay, so that's just, woo, just makes me afraid. Okay, so let's move on. Let's say the Gary then asks what Mark Zuckerberg's stand is on NFTs, because you know Gary Veynerchuck is big in NFTs, and this is where Mark Zuckerberg reveals his huge plan of yes, and it's actually interesting the way he thinks about it. It's not about the attention grab in the metaverse, but it is about something much more important. It's about stuff. Okay, the stuff you own. As you know very well, the stuff you own ends up owning you. And you just imagine if you move on from Minecraft to Fortnite and you can take your stuff with you. And then you move on to GTA and you can take your stuff with you. That's the big deal. So portable, I actually quote, portable between different experiences. Woo, this sends some shivers down my spine. Okay, so here's the problem with the metaverse. The saying that the stuff you own ends up owning you means that in the moment when you don't want to let go of that stuff and it becomes that important, you will pay for it, you will live for it, and the owner of that universe will own you. Remember these words. Because no one wants to give up his stuff. Just imagine 10 years of stuff. And you would have to give it all up if you move out of the metaverse. 80% of the people will not do that. So I believe that also if you want to have stuff in the metaverse, you most likely will need to pay for it. And you know that Zuckerberg already tried to create a currency. He failed. And then he realized that in order to have his own currency, he will need to have his own universe. And that is why the metaverse. Okay. So I believe that Meta will be judge, jury, and executioner, and while they will control your finances, then they will control your life. Okay, if you wish to check out the entire interview, I will leave a link in the show notes, so check it out. Okay, next topic, the Metaverse ETF. I believe I also have it here. So, Metaverse ETF, let's just go through what actually a ETF is. It is a exchange trade fund, and it is a type of security that tracks an index, sector, commodity, or other assets, but which can be purchased or sold on a stock exchange the same way a regular stock can. Okay, so basically you can buy and sell it as any regular stock, but it just tracks an index. Okay, it's not like owning stocks from a specific company. Normally in a ETF there are more than one companies thrown in there, and they're let's just say they're, I'm going to actually show you in a couple of minutes. So an ETF can be structured to track anything from a price of an individual company to a large and diverse collection of securities. ETFs can even be structured to track specific investment strategies. This is really important. Okay. A well-known example of a ETFs is the SPDR S&P 500 ETF, or SPY, which tracks the S&P 500 index. Okay, so it's not the S&P 500, it's only tracking it. So you're not actually buying S&P 500 stock. ETFs can contain many types of investment, including stocks, commodities, bonds, or a mixture of investment types. An exchange-traded fund, a ETF, is a marketable security, meaning that it has an associated price, which also means that it can be bought and sold easily. Let's actually take a look at it. Currently, so the tracker is Meta. The primary exchange is the New York SE. Expense ratio, I think this is a pretty high expense ratio. They are currently at 701 million. Okay, so it's called around here Ball Metaverse ETF, Meta ETF. It is designed to offer investors exposure to the metaverse. This would be so interesting, by providing investment results that closely correspond before fees and expenses to the performance of Ball Metaverse Index. Okay, so let's take a look at what are the benefits. This includes, so the BAL Metaverse Index is the first index globally designed to track the performance of the Metaverse. The index, I don't know, you could call anything a Metaverse. Will this be the Facebook Metaverse, or not the Facebook, the Metaverse, or will it be something else? I don't know. We will see. The important thing is here they're going to track, actually, I believe, the value of NFTs within the Metaverse. The index consists of a tried-weight portfolio globally listed companies who are actually involved in the Metaverse. Okay, so what do they stand for? So they're investing in compute, in networking, in virtual platforms, interchange standards, in payments, of course, in payments. Blockchain will be extremely important. Also, I don't know if you saw or not that PayPal is working on accepting Bitcoin, in content, assets, and identity services. Okay, so let's just take a look at what they're investing in. Okay, so they have 10.68% in Nvidia Corporation. They have 10.51% in Roblox Corp. I don't know what this is. They have 7% in Microsoft, almost 6% in Unity software. Ooh, interesting. Unity, you know this. Unity is like the Unreal Engine. It is a gaming engine. The difference would be that Unity is, in order to work in Unity, you would need to use C#, and for Unreal, you would need to use C++. Okay, they're also in Meta Platforms, in Autodesk. This is interesting. Why in Autodesk? 4.2%. Now, if you don't know, Autodesk is a drawing software, AutoCAD, which is basically for all engineering stuff. But also, let me just check Autodesk. Autodesk is interesting. So let me just support products. There we go. Architecture, engineering, and construction. Because I'm a construction engineer, that's why I know. They have AutoCAD, Revit, which has regular structural engineering, excellent, Civil 3D, AutoCAD LT, which is the light version. Also Inventor, AutoCAD Fusion. Okay, there it is. 3ds Max, which is simulation. You have Maya, Arnold, Mobile. I don't know what this is, but I think they're investing in these parts. Although I can see a ton of application in 3D construction, 3D engineering. There's a lot of potential in there, really. Okay, so let's go back to Autodesk, Amazon, of course, why not? Tegnet and Qualcomm. I don't know what that is. That's for this ETF. If you're interested in the Metaverse ETF, then check it out. We'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, last topic of discussion is hydrogen. What is hydrogen? Hydrogen is a React-based framework for building custom storefronts on Shopify. A custom storefront is an example of a headless commerce model where the front end and the back end of your store end are independent. Now, why would you build a custom storefront? And building a custom storefront offers the following key benefits. Flexibility. The storefront API is device and platform agnostic. You can build a custom storefront using any programming language. It adds flexibility to your workflow. It is customizable. You can build a solution that grows and adapts with the merchant's business. As customer trends and interactions change, the commerce solutions can adapt quickly to long-term market shifts in customer acquisitions. Also, integration. It will bring your own tools, technology stacks, and experiences and integrate your own custom backend with Shopify's commerce data. So at the end of the day, it gives you everything you need to start fast, build fast, and deliver the best personalized shopping experience. At least that's what they claim. So Hydrogen is a front-end web development framework used for building Shopify custom storefronts. It includes the structure, components, and tooling needed to get started. You can spend your time selling and designing features that make your brand unique. Okay, so that's basically what they're trying to achieve with Hydrogen. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did like this, give it a review. Also, if you have any kind of questions or suggestions, leave them in the comment sections down below. If you're not already subscribed, then please consider doing so on YouTube. Also, click that notification bell in order to get notified whenever I post new episodes. Also, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We are all over the place. Okay, everyone, take care. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.